and good evening, everyone. We are happy to welcome you all to the platform of ABCD International. To start with, I just want to quote, you can complain because roses have thorns, or you can rejoice that thorns have roses. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is, and there's going to be a way through it. So, greetings to all the esteemed guests, distinguished panelists assembled here for a very, very unique conclave, a landmark event, and another milestone crossed by ABCD International. Today is day 5 of International Business Innovators Summit 2021. And the theme of the day is very, very important, which we all need to speak about and we all need to consider it, specially abled kids. So I would want to hear just a quote about a famous writer who said, it shouldn't matter how slowly a child learns. What matters is that we encourage them never to stop trying. And with that note, today we have amidst us a galaxy of global dignitaries who have congregated to deliberate and discuss for business innovators organized by ABCD Foundation. So at the very onset, let us start this event with auspicious lamp lightning. And we all know that light is a pretty universal symbol of truth, knowledge, and understanding. It acts as a guide, keeping us from stumbling in the dark. So let us light the lamp of knowledge to elicit the feelings of gratitude, compassion, love, hope, healing, and wellness. Now I would request Akashji to light the auspicious lamp and flag off today's inspirational session. So over to you, Akashji.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
So thank you so much for lighting the lamp of hope, the ray of hope, and with the divine blessings. As in India today, we celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, and today is the first day in welcoming the Lord, and with the divine blessings of illuminating the lamp of knowledge inspired by our honorable dignitaries. Today, we are here to make the world a better place to live in. So I would like to welcome all of you with my co-moderator, Swarlin Kaur, the founder, director, CEO of The Talk Room, author, youth personality, and development coach, will curate the entire evening along with me. At the very onset, I would like to play a short video to introduce ABCD Foundation and the amount of works and the pain they have been doing throughout the pandemic to give some sort of enlightenment to all the edupreneurs. So I will move ahead with sharing my screen and playing the video for all of you. Just a second. So wasn't that interesting, all of you, those who are watching us here in the room as well as outside? Have you seen the amount of work which ABCD International has been doing throughout? And this is what I wanted to say about ABCD. So ABCD has been guiding the lamp for over the years, and especially this 2 years, which they have tried to bring about a change. So I would like to invite the brain behind this, Akash Baba ji, to come and say something about the foundation, which he wants to add it on. We have just now seen an amazing kind of work which ABCD Foundation is doing. So over to you, Akash ji, just a little bit about the foundation, if you could just tell us.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity to speak. So every day I didn't speak, but I want to share some special things about ABCD International. Those I didn't cover in video. So ABCD International works overall life change of trainers and entrepreneurs. So we have recently started one program that in that program we cover all changes, like we cover all 5 sectors. We change trainers socially, health, wealth, spiritually, and lots of things cover. So we actually work on that. So we offer yoga classes for health, one structure for wealth. So lots of things cover. So ABCD is a place where we can change overall perspective of person, overall life changing journey here. So that's why we have keep name ABCD. So we start our education or any our career journey from ABCD. So why not you start your journey of training or any business, start from ABCD International and grow in your life. So thank you, and this all our initiative. The brain behind that is all our mentors. So they help lots up, and so all our moderators and mentors. Because of them, everything is happen. And all speakers, thank you for joining here. So let's move forward without wasting so much time. So over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akashji, for that lovely add-on with that ABCD's new ventures. So we are really happy and really happy to be here, a part of it. Just to moderate it also is really an honor for all of us. And to meet such great, amazing dignitaries across the globe. And it's all because of our mentors. We know when there is teamwork, when there is collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. This teamwork is what is which the fuel which is propelling each member to aspire, attain, achieve, and work towards a common vision and accomplish organizational goals. So, with a deep, big round of applause, I would like to welcome the mentors of Day 5. We have Dr. Manoj Saigal, we have Dr. Shelly Bish, Dr. Rabia Bhatia, Miss Himanshi Awal, sorry, Miss Himanshi Awal. She's very young and dynamic. And Mr. Muhammad Zubair, who is also one of the speakers. So welcome all of you to the platform of ABCD International. And today, our erudite speakers will be deliberating on specially abled kids. So isn't that the topic which we all want to listen? So it's a request to all who is present in the room, be ready with your questions, because we have the erudite speakers who are totally equipped with the knowledge of this specially abled kid. If you want to ask any question, flood the comment section box with your questions. So, and if you want to ask directly, you can ask soon after the speakers finish with their speaking. So the speakers will be presenting and speaking about each topic which they have selected. So without any delay, I would like to invite our erudite speakers. With that, I just wanted a little welcoming session, because it's very important, because the speakers are going to enlighten all of us. So without the speakers' enlightenment, we cannot end up today's session. So I just want to welcome them in a special way to all the speakers today. So that was a little bit of making them feel special, because they are very special for us today. We are going to be enlightened with their rays and with their valuable communications, which they will be sharing about these young, wonderful kids. And we really want to know more and more about them. Without wasting much time, I would invite my first speaker for the day, Mr. Mohammed Zubair, to introduce him. I think you need to mute yourself when somebody speaks. It's a request to everyone. Please follow the rules of the room, that when a speaker speaks, you need to just mute yourself. And if you want to speak something, raise your hand and unmute yourself, so that the flow keeps on moving very nicely. So as I was telling, our first speaker for the day, our guest, Mr. Mohammed Zubair, I want to welcome him with a big round of applause. To speak about him, I might take a day, a full day, because the achievements and the kind of work he has been doing is really commendable. So, sir, I really salute you for the kind of work you are doing. But in my own way, I would just like to introduce him. He is an assistant professor of special education in the Department of TT and NFE ISEA, Jamia Millia Islamia, a Central University, New Delhi. He is a registered professional in RCI, and he has many, many accolades to his name. So welcome, Mr. Mohammed Zubair, to the platform of ABCD International. We are very, very inquisitive to know about your vision of the specially abled kids. So the virtual platform is all yours. So over to you, Mohammed Zubairji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for providing me the opportunity. Thank you, Ashna, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank ABCD International for providing me the opportunity to speak on this topic. And I would also like to thanks to all other members who will, who will speak today on this topic, because this is a very, important topic. We have to aware the society how we can deal with our especially able kids, because they all are the part of the society. And every individual have their abilities and their potential, and every student is unique in their abilities. So we have to deal with every student in our school, in our society. So it is an important topic nowadays, because we are talking about the inclusive education nowadays, where students come from different backgrounds in the school. When we talk about the school system, there are lots of students are there. Some students belong to the different societies, from different regions, from different religions, from different culture, and so different abilities as well. Because when we talk about the abilities of a student, no, everybody won't be a doctor, everybody won't be a singer. According to their abilities, we have to use our, as a teacher or as a parents, we have to observe their skills. So firstly, I would like to tell something about the special education. What is the meaning of special education? Special education, or we can say the special needs education, is the form of education. It is planned for the students with special needs in a way that addresses the students with individual differences and needs. Because we have to we have to make such plans or intervention plans in which we have to deal with such students who have some sort of special attention. Because when we in the class, there are different kind of students are there. Some students are high achievers, some students are low achievers in the class, some students are medium. So special education is a modified program which involves some unique tools, some unique techniques and research efforts, ICT, and the teaching styles in improving instructional arrangements to meet the need of the children. So it is not a total different program which is assigned for the normal children. And special education can be provided in general schools as well nowadays. When we see the schools of New Delhi or NCR, you will even the government schools nowadays, we are talking about the inclusive education, where in all the schools government have government has recruited the special educators there, the guidance counselors are there, music teachers are there, many therapists are there. So multidisciplinary approach is there, because every we have to give the equal opportunities for all nowadays. Because when we talk about the right to education, when we talk about the rights of all the children, so they special children have also, they have right to to take good education, good so special education is designed to ensure that students with disabilities are provided with an environment that allows them to be educated effectively. And disabilities that qualify for special education include, there are lots of disabilities nowadays. When we talk about in context of India, RPWD Act, Right of Person with Disability Act 2016, nowadays it has been implemented by the government. And there are 21 disabilities now in this act. And when we talk about at the initial level, Person with Disability Act was there in 19 was initiated by the government in 1995. There was only 7 disabilities were there. In 1999, 3 more disabilities were added in that. Nowadays 21 disabilities are there. So when we talk about the disabilities, lots of disabilities are there. Like when we talk about the lots of sensory disabilities, like visual impairment, the hearing impairment, intellectual disabilities, there are learning disabilities, there blood disorders are there, thalassemia, hemophilia, or sickle cell anemia is there. Many chromosomal disorders are there. Learning disability and autism are the umbrella term. They cover lots of disabilities in it. Like if when we talk about the learning disabilities, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, non-verbal LDs are there. So it's a wide it's a wide range of varieties there. And we have to deal with all the students in a single school, because teacher has the responsibility to observe all the students in the class. Because teacher is not only a teacher, he is a mentor, he is a you can say he is a manager in the school, he is a facilitator, and he has to deal with all the students. So children who have special needs all have unique abilities and certain personal limitations. So no two children are the same in the class. Every children is different. So when we talk about the special needs, especially able children, keep in the mind that this is a very broad term, and it is often used to describe a very wide range of physical, emotional, mental, and behavioral disabilities are there. Some students have more than one specific disabilities at the same time, because they have multiple disabilities. If a child is not able to see the things, he has visual problem, or he has low vision, and at the same time he has some behavioral issues, at the same time he has another problems. So special needs is an umbrella term for a wide array of diagnoses, from those that resolve quickly to those that will be a challenge for life, and those that are relatively mild. So firstly, as a teacher or as a parents, it's our duty identify the milestones of our children's. Or according to the psychology, many theorists, in many researches, they have suggested that as a parents, we have to observe the milestones of our students or our kids, because all the developments are going on with birth, and their physical, their mental development is going on, physical development, language development is going on. So if you find that if a child is not able to stand, if a child is not able to speak, and he has crossed the age of 5 years or 4 years, so as a parents or as a teacher, you have to observe what is the reason behind it. Why he is not able to speak, why he is not able to stand, why he is not able to see, why he is not able to hear. So these are the things. So many milestones, delays are there, behavioral issues are there. There are lots of medical conditions are there, psychiatric issues are there. many congenital conditions are there. So we have to observe all those things in our students. Special education is used to to help them. There are lots of causes. There are lots of prenatal causes are there. If a woman is pregnant, there are lots of prenatal causes are there. Chromosome abnormalities are there, like Down syndrome. Genetical causes are there, like sickle cell anemia. Maternal stress, if a lady is pregnant and he is in stress, she is in stress, or she is not feeling well and she is taking the medicines without prescription, without taking any prescription from doctor, or she has some sort of environmental causes. Lots of environmental causes also there, like exposure to X-ray, radiations, ultrasound, many drugs, or we can say infections, many infections during the pregnancy. And teenage mothers also have risk, and many neurological disorders as well. Infections contracted during pregnancy can also have a reason for the disabilities in students. So malnutrition is the important, one of the important reason, because lack of folic acid or the calcium or the multivitamins. So infections, many things are there in the prenatal stage. And the other reasons are the perinatal, that during the pregnancy, the natal stage is there. During the delivery, many painkillers given by the doctor. If a prematurity delivery is happened, that is another reason. Smoking, alcohol, various drugs, oxygen deprivation. If a child is not, after taking the birth, he is not crying, or the oxygen deprivation will be taken place. So brain hemorrhage and failure to breathe are the main causes of oxygen deprivation. And these are the things. Many infections or the fevers during the pregnancy or after the pregnancy. Many postnatal causes are also there, injuries or the childhood infections, fever, typhoid, or many severe and prolonged malnutrition. So environmental deprivation, poor nutrition, poor housing, many things are there. These are the reason. So WHO, draws the three terms. They have given us the three terms: impairment, disability, and the handicap. So what is the basic difference among them? Impairment is the any loss or abnormality of the psychological or physiological or anatomical structure or function. Or disability is any restriction or lack of ability to perform. Or handicap is the disadvantage for a given individual resulting from environment. For example, if a child he don't have legs, so he has impairment because he don't have legs. We can say he have abnormal organ because his organs are not functioning well. So due to the impairment, he is not able to do the activities. Activity limitations are there: inability to walk, inability to walk, inability to run. So these are the disability. And handicap is the when a function is organizing by school or in the society, so he is not able to take the benefit. He has been excluded from the school competition due to the lack of their functions or the abilities. So impairment is the abnormal organs, and disability is the limitations in the activities, and handicap is the participation restrictions. So these are the things. In a special school, we are talking about barrier-free environment nowadays. Barrier-free access must be there in the schools, because universally as we know, there should be all the resources must be given to students. Firstly, all the teachers must be there, because nowadays when we talk about to give the special education to them, we have to prepare some intervention plans for them, individualized education plan for them. So we have to provide such environment where all the faculties must be there. Special educator must be there, normal teacher must be there, counselors must be there, physiotherapist, occupational therapist must be there. So every music teacher, sports teacher, laboratories must be there, every staff. And on the other thing, the important thing is the physical environment. And laboratories must be there, computer labs must be there, resource room where they can learn many things in the special field. So barrier-free environment must be given to them. Adaptive toilets, ramp, uh, rooms, ICT programs, everything must be there. Barrier-free environment must be there. So access, we have to provide access to physical environment. The path from the gate of the school or buildings and playground must be clear and labeled. All entrance and doorways in the school buildings should be between minimum 4 to 5 feet wide minimum. The toilet inside the school should be accessible to children with special needs or specially able children. The toilet should be fitted with commode and grab rails. The drinking water outlet should be accessible to children. Avoid sharp turns in the schools and buildings. The walkway must be clear of any hung and protruding, and steps should be equal and even height at stairs. Even height at stairs must be required. Or the important thing, the end of the handrails should be bent downwards to the avoid injury. Bright colors should be used at every change in slope. All the surfaces should be non-slip, and loose gravel or cobbles should be avoided. Natural lighting should be optimized. Safety of all students be ensured by provision, hazard free environment, and access to curriculum as well. The school curriculum designing is important because we can't give the same assignment to all the students. So according to the students, we have to adapt the curriculum, access to curriculum. So adaptation and accommodations needs to be made in the class, in the assessment. Use of teaching strategies and methods, including signs and gestures, use of teaching styles, materials as per the needs of the special children, availability and accessibility of teaching learning material within the class or in the school or outside the school. Ensure participation of students, use multisensory approach in the class. Some students are auditory learners, some are visual learners, some are tactile learners, some are kinesthetic learners. Use of peer tutoring, team teaching, effective multisensory approach in the class, multidisciplinary approach in the class. Provide them opportunities relate to their life, provide them opportunities to learn in a different manner. Aids and appliances like calipers, wheelchairs, dressers, special chairs, wedges, ICT tools, pencil grips we can use in the class. Ensure adequate space allocation to meet individual needs of children. Using assistive devices are there. Many assistive devices are there. Ensure that visual, tactile, and pictorial teaching aids for them. Level of difficulty for both language and content. Use of concrete objects as teaching learning material needs to be emphasized. Ensure wheelchair accessibility in the schools, in the classrooms, in the resource rooms, in the labs, in the playgrounds. And the important thing is provision of suitable hearing aids and maintenance should be ensured. The resource teacher should provide auditory training, and all the teachers should provide some sort of in-service training for cross disability, because in schools many disabled students are there. Some students from learning disabilities, some students from have problems, social problems, some have behavioral problems, some have autism, some have visual impairment. So many disabilities are there. Sitting arrangement also matters in the class. If a child if a child have the problem in they have low vision, he has the problem in vision. So we have to ensure that we have to give the opportunity to sit in the front areas in the class. Level of the difficulty of language needs to be adapted as per the comprehension level. Ensure availability of accessible teaching learning material, braille, large print text, audio text, video text. Making science labs accessible in the braille, in the tactile form. Ensure availability of and use of embossed and tactile material for them. And we can use many reading and scanning softwares nowadays. Many applications are there. Training in the daily living skills for them. MR students are there, mental retarded students. Now we can we can call them in intellectual disabled students. So they have problems, they have less than 70, they have IQ level of less than 70. So we have to provide them training, daily living skills training, orientation training, mobility training must be provided to children with to overcome the difficulties of daily life skills. Ensure effective orientation for them. So we have to provide such opportunities to them. So the important thing is, when we talk about the special education, early identification is the important thing. As a parents, we have to identify, as a teacher, we have to identify at the early stages, because there are four stages are there: mild, moderate, severe, profound. If you identify at the mild or the moderate level, you can use many teaching methods, strategies, many therapies on them. You can make some intervention plans for them, and we can provide some opportunities for them. The another thing is acceptability in our society, especially in the subcontinent. uh, People have when the people have the disabled kids, they don't accept. So we have to accept, as a family member or as a parents in the society, we have to accept that our students have this problem, and we have to deal with this problem, and we have to provide them the good opportunities and good environment, and we have to make them independent in the society. We have to furnish their abilities according to their caliber. And the another important thing is the access. We have to provide them the special schools in the society, good infrastructure in the society, better free environment in the society. We have to provide them good access in the society, in the community. And sensitization and awareness is the important thing, because we have to aware the society that what is special education, what are the disability means, and they are human beings, and they have unique abilities and some sort of limitations, and we have to deal with them, and we have to make them independent, and provide equal opportunities in their future. So provide need-based education. And need-based education, like Vygotsky says, that what is the before the teaching, during the teaching, and after teaching, we have to assess our students according to their needs. We have to provide them opportunity, teaching, learning. Curriculum adaptation is important thing. Behavior modification is the important thing we have, because many behavioral issues are there. Need-based education, we have to provide them. And multisensory approach, use all modalities in the class. We use a term VACT: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, tactile. Visual, some students are very learn very fast by visual methods, and some students have are good auditory learners. When they hear, they learn at a very high pace. Some students are kinesthetic learner. When we organize some sort of activities in the class, so learning by doing also work well in the class. So tactile, when we hands-on training is important in the class, so tactile learning is also important in the class. Imitation methods we can use, repetition drills we can use. We can use many activities, games, and daily life examples. We can relate to their lives. We can use many worksheets in the class, different methods according to their needs. Peer tutoring, in which many students are there, and high achiever students will teach to the low achiever students. Team teaching we can use in the class. Cooperative learning, because cooperative learning and team teaching, in the grouping we learn a lot, and the rate of learning will be increased. Many innovative aids, equipments are there. ICT is there. Child center methods are there in the psychology. Many therapies are there: counseling, physiotherapy, occupational therapies. We can use all those things. And we after assessment, we make a case study of every student, which kind of development or have limitation they have limitations in their childhood, which kind of problems they are facing. So we talk to their parents. We make a case study with in the teacher prepare case study for every student, then make a functional assessment in which they assess the functional areas of a student. In the reading area, in the writing area, we can assess. In the gross motor and fine motor skills, we can observe. Fine motor means how child is able to use their fingers in the class. If a child is not able to use their fingers in the class, they don't have good gripping, so they are not able to write well. So we can make some intervention plans after assess our students. There are lots of safety concerns in the schools, and we have to provide good motivation for them. We have to increase their self-esteem. We have to provide them good confidence. We have to reinforce them, because without giving the motivation, they won't feel better in the class, and they will feel little bit confused. And teach them according to the individual differences, because when we talk about the psychology, some students have mechanical intelligence, so they can perform well in all those activities where they have to make some sort of mechanical work, like engineers, like a pilot. Some students have their concrete intelligence, they can use many things. When they see the things, they perform well. Some students have abstract intelligence, like poets, psychologists. So we have to observe all those things. We have to make our class interactive. We have to provide them opportunities, give extra time to them, and give good sitting arrangement to them. And adaptation is the important thing for a teacher. Adaptation means adjustment in the class. The best approach through collaborative problem solving. It maximizes the participation, because adaptation is the thing. It covers two terms. Adaptation covers two terms: accommodation and modification. Accommodation means change in how a student access information and demonstrate learning. For example, if I am a teacher and I provide some assignment to my student in the text form, and he is not learning well because he is not a visual learner, so I can convert all those texts in the auditory form, in the audio form, and now he will be able to learn because he is an auditory learner. This is the accommodation. Changes in change in our strategy, change in our methods, change in our material. This is the good thing. In like learn content from audiobook, movies, video and digital media. Work with you can use many things. Record a lesson in state. As a teacher, I can record my lessons in audio or video form. I can change sitting arrangement. If I am teaching by lecture method or the demonstration method, I can use the project method or any other method in the class. So this is the accommodation. Modification means every individual is different in the class. So as a teacher, when I will make some goals, some objectives in my class, desired goals, so I will consider my students' abilities. So adaptation, modification means alter or lower standard. I can alter the assignment, I can alter the goals, I can changes in what a student is expected to learn, or you can lesser the work. So completely different homework for every student in the class, because every individual is different in the class. So we can, as a teacher, I will give the completely different homework according to their caliber, answer different test questions, provide and get grading using a different standards for every student, reduction of homework for every student, omitting story problems for students. So special education for especially able children is the important thing, because it is the intervention plan in which we can use many methods and innovative things as a teacher. And it is the responsibility not only for the teachers, it is the responsibility of the whole school or the society. And we have to aware them, and we have to provide them such intervention where they can learn a lot, and they can, and we have to make good citizen of country, good citizen of globe, and he will be a good citizen, and he will feel better in the society. So this is the special education we are talking about today. So I think I have completed my 20 minutes. Thank you.
So you are speaking so nicely that 20 minutes didn't look like 20 minutes. There is still some more time and we can keep on listening. There are several technicalities which you spoke on, and which was really amazing, that when we are dealing with this special children, or especially abled children, we should not tell that. So when we deal with them, it is our necessity to know. As an educator, we should first know certain things which are handy with us, and then we can move ahead to train such kids. Without that, if you just treat them, because we know every kid has certain special things in them, whether they are especially abled kid or a normal kid, whatever they are, every kid is having certain unique qualities in them. And as you said, sir, Mohammed sir has highlighted the things which we need to make it very clear of. If we are dealing or trying to train these kids, they are very, very attracted to what we give them. They have their special attractions, and they know that who really feels for them and who is just doing it for the sake of doing. So as an educator, as a motivator, as a skill trainer, we first need to balance ourselves and then bring them in front of the kids. So if we do not train ourselves and just walk into the classroom with where we have the specially able kids, with the confidence that because I have dealt with so many people outside across in the globe, nationally and internationally, so they are just small kids. But here, there is where we are making a mistake. We just take them in a different way. We just need to understand their feelings, their hopes, which they have from their educator. Their eyes are wide open, but their brains, they need you. They want to reach out to us. So as Sir said, those who have hearing disabilities, so we need to provide them with certain way. So we cannot speak in the classroom. We need to give them in a different technique and make them understand. And those who are not able to see, so in that way, make them hearing aids properly. So we need to work on it. So it is our duty to work on it. So it was very nice and very insightful, Mohammed sir, for enlightening us with those words. And now I would just ask,
My
because it's
pleasure.
a very, very interactive session. So I would request
Actually,
if
it's a broad
anyone,
term. Special education is a broad term, and there are 21 disabilities, and every disability have different teaching strategies to teach them. When we're dealing with the learning disability students, we have to use different techniques and teaching style in the class. And when we are dealing with the autism student, we have to deal with
that is
different
good.
manner. When we are dealing with HI student, we have to use different methods. So 21 disabilities in India nowadays, because RPWD Act mentioned 21 disabilities and government has passed, 21 disabilities. So
Yes.
RCI is working good in that area, Rehabilitation Council of India under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. And nowadays government is trying, good in all those areas, because UNCRPD in 2007, India made a signatory body in 2007, and these disabilities have been increased up to 21. So still the awareness is required in the villages or in the small towns, where as a teacher, many teachers don't know how to deal with these students, because they only notice these things, that only visual impairment students are disabled. They only know that hearing impairment students are disabled, but autism is also a disability. Learning disability is also a disability. Dyslexia student, he has good IQ level. They have good IQ level. They have good, they perform well in all other areas, but they have only the reading problems. And similarly, the dyscalculia, they have problems in calculations. So autism have some problems in their they have social problems, social issues, emotional issues. So it's a wide variety of disabilities. Even acid attack introduced by government in the RPWD Act. Acid attack victims are also covered in the disabilities nowadays. And blood disorders, thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, have introduced in the disabilities now. So it's a broad term. So as a teacher or as a parent, firstly we have to observe our students. We have to observe their milestones, and we have to observe their strength and weaknesses, and then we after assessing their caliber, then we can give them intervention, because we use IP for them, individualized education plan for every kid. Thank you.
Yes, and sir, you have very rightly said the early identification. That is very, very important. We need to identify as a parent or an educator what is there with which the child needs. So the dyslexias, which we know, we sometimes avoid it, that no, my child cannot be a dyslexic, cannot be a specially able child. We just don't want to accept it, and there we go late. That is where we are delaying. So we really need to accept it and just work on it. If we do that, probably everything can be sorted. And I feel some amount of dyslexia we all have, whether it's with the numbers, whether it is with the words. We all are suffering from it, and we really need to understand that. Because sometimes, Mohammed sir, I just want to share with you, I too feel, being a language teacher, when I'm teaching in the class, sometimes I miss out with certain spellings, which is very, very important as a language teacher. And if we are missing certain words in spelling. So sometimes I question myself, am I dyslexic about the spelling? So that is also there. So how do we understand at this age? Certainly, is there is some denominations where we can go understand, Muhammad sir. Could you please tell me that how do I understand whether I am dyslexic or not? Or is it just because due to a lot of heavy work, sometimes I make spelling errors, and it's very dangerous actually for a language teacher to
Ma'am,
make spelling errors.
basically, when we talk about dyslexia, dyslexia comes under the term the learning disabilities, specific learning disabilities, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, or when we talk about the dyspraxia or non-verbal LD or the aphasia, the language problem. So these terms, because these all comes under the learning disabilities, and learning disabilities it is a disorder in which we have perception problem. We are not able to interpret the meaning of the things. If a uh, child have all, he is good in all the other areas, but he is not able to perceive what he is reading. So he has perception problem. He is not able to interpret the meaning of the letters, or you can say the structures or the syntaxes. So this is the problem. It's a neurological problem, and it can't be treated, but we can deal with some. We can use many good intervention plans. We can use many strategies as a teacher, and we can we can use all those things in our class. So as it if we are have these students have some sort of memory problems, sometimes memory and organization problems. They have ADHD also, and attention problem. They also have sometimes attention problems. Many associated disorders can arise when early identification will not be taken place. Many other disorders will be associated with these things in the with the learning disabled students. So it's a broad term. So dyslexia means he is good in all other areas. He has no problem in mathematics. His IQ level is maybe one above 100, or sometimes he is a gifted child, 140. Even they have IQ level of 140. So they don't have IQ problem, but they have the perception problem. They have the neurological. It's a neurological disorder. It's an umbrella term. So it is in the left hemisphere of the brain. So we have some sort of problem. It is responsible for perception. So that is the reason for it.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would ask the eminent personalities who are here if you would love to ask any questions to sir. Otherwise, we'll move with our next dignitaries, or my co-moderator, if you would love to ask something to sir, who has explained actually everything, everything point by point he has given. And so if anyone still wants to ask something, so the virtual stage is all yours. Please move ahead. Yes, Akash sir is telling superb, Mohammed sir. Very nice explanation. Very true, very true. Very nicely explained, and every point has been taken. Still, to the audience who are watching us live on YouTube, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section. Also, we will get back to you with our answers. So don't worry about that. We will be ready with our answers. So do keep commenting in the YouTube also live section. So we will be able to read that and answer you for the same. So I hope you all were enlightened with the words of Muhammad Zubair, who had very, very uniquely explained point-wise and very meticulously what exactly a teacher needs to do from the point of view. So thank you so much, Muhammad Zubair, sir. From the bottom of my heart, gratitude for that. So since we have no questions, we will move with our next speaker for the evening, who is a very, very dynamic personality. And may I invite Dr. Vaishali Tripathi, who is, of course, again, as I tell you, our dignitaries today who are present with us, and all the days whom you will be meeting, each and every dignitaries and speakers are highly talented and motivational, and they have lot of experiences. So it is your time now to take it from them, ask them questions, flood them up with your questions, whatever doubts you have. They are in the platform only to answer your question. So we have another dynamic personality, Dr. Vaishali Tripathi, who is an educator, SME, author, speaker, writer, and healer. She has 14 plus experience in education industry. That's amazing, Dr. Vaishali. She has co-authored 4 books. Oh my God. Have 6 research publications along with 6 amazing articles on her name. She believes in connections and collaborations and being positive in every situation. So on that positive note, welcome Dr. Vaishali Tripathi on the platform of ABCD International. So we are really, really honored to have you on the stage. And since our talk is about specially able child, today, Dr. Vaishali Tripathi will be talking about disabilities due to chromosomes. We had a few mentions by Mohammed sir also about the chromosomes. Now, Dr. Vaishali will be talking about the disabilities which come due to the chromosomes. So, Dr. Vaishali, the virtual stage is all yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Rachna ma'am, for giving such a wonderful introduction. And I would like to thank Dr. Akash Babar sir for creating this wonderful platform and then giving every one of us a chance to come over here and speak on various topics. So thank you so much. Thank you ABCD International for again doing such a wonderful different types of initiatives. So again, thank you so much. And thank you, Swarlin ma'am, for being the moderator of the event today, along with Rachna ma'am. So thank you so much, both of you. And yes, Zubair sir has started with a very high note, and I'm not going to cover anything related to special education. Yes, the topic for today is specially able kids. So I'll be talking something related to that only. We all know that special children are not always acceptable in our families, right? There are families, even educated families don't accept them. I have seen many people around me also when a child is born with some disability. The parents, one of the parents will always be against that thing, and all the burden comes on the mother, and the mother has to struggle everything with that disabled child. So why is it so? Why the parents are not understanding why society is not accepting such children? They are blessed kids, and we are also blessed to have them in our life. Right? So we should not ignore them or we should not avoid them. Instead, we should try to find why such child is born and why they are having this type of abnormalities or why they are specially able kids. They are really blessed, and let's not underestimate their power as well. Maybe they may be having less IQ than us, but then they are the most pure souls of this universe, and you can't even understand what they go through. And if you want to understand them, then you have to be a teacher, like Zubair sir have already explained that how the teachers are doing it. But then again, there is a drawback that all are not that trained in handling the disabled child, because you need lot of patience, lot of perseverance, lot of passion to understand that child and then go deeply in doing everything for that small child. Because if you are going to handle such children, you have to be very patient. They are all the time irritating. They will not be able to understand what you are trying to tell. So we should know what they are going through, what abnormalities they are having. So starting with this, let me share my small PPT, which I have today brought for you all. Let me know if it is shared.
Yes, you're sharing. Your screen is getting. Yes, okay. Ma'am, it's getting shared.
Okay. So a special need child may have a life-threatening condition. Okay, it's not always necessary that they are lifelong livers, but it may happen that they may live for only very small time, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe a year, or maybe 7 years, or 12 years, or maybe 15 years. Some survive till 30 years as well if they are given that protective environment and they are cared that much. Then they can survive a good life as well. Or they may have severe learning disabilities also. So these children mostly have the learning disabilities because their mind is not developed, their body is not developed, so they are not able to cope up with the abilities that you are having. So it's better to understand them and then go with them. Now, it is a child that requires special attention. Yes, even our normal children also require special attention. You may have seen sometimes our child also get irritated. They also start panicking us, but we don't get panicked, or we sometimes get panicked also, but then we handle them. Similarly, these kids are also requiring special attention and care, and that care is more and more than what a normal child requires. So we should understand this important criteria. Now, there are 4 different types of disabilities. One is physical, one is developmental, one is behavioral or emotional, and one is sensory or impaired. In physical, you have the muscular dystrophy. That means your muscles are not properly developed. Multiple sclerosis, again, your muscles and mind is and spinal cord is not that much in coordination with your body. Chronic asthma, as you all know, that asthma is because of the different types of allergies also, and it may also lead to disabilities. It is included in disabilities actually. And then epilepsy also. Developmental, you have chromosomal abnormalities. Then you have autism, that as Zubair sir has already explained you. Dyslexia is also one of the disorders. Then you have behavioral and emotional, such as ADHD and bipolar disorders, where your mind is not properly developed, your brain is not properly developed, and you have different types of mood swings. And then oppositional defiance disorders. Again, this is the same thing. Then sensory impaired means that you are not able to see anything, you are not able to hear anything, that is visually impaired. You are deaf, you are not able to walk properly, you have one hand is not there or one leg is not there. So these are the different types of sensory impairment that you have. So these are also included under the term disabilities. Now, coming to chromosomal abnormalities, first we should know what are chromosomes. Now, what are chromosomes? We all know that our body is having number of cells, and every type of cell that you have in your body, whether you have hairs, you have nails, you have skin, you have eyes, your lungs, everything in your body has the chromosomes, and these chromosomes have DNA, and this DNA is able to identify you from the other person. Like, I am different from Zubair sir, Zubair sir is different from Akash sir, and Akash sir is quite different from me, because we all have different type of skin structures, we have different hairstyles, we have different body textures. So everything depends on these chromosomes and DNA. Now, in our body, we have 46 chromosomes. That means we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So 22 are same, as we all know, and then these are always called as autosomes, and the 23rd one, which defines a male and a female. That means you are male, that is, suppose Zubair sir is male and suppose Rachna ma'am is female. So this differentiation is done with the help of the sex chromosome, which is known as the sex chromosome, which is the 23rd chromosome. And in males, you have the XY chromosome, and in females you have the XX chromosome. So from this figure you can see that this is the structure of a chromosome. Chromosome have two arms, the P arm and the Q arm, and this defines the future abnormalities that may be having in your bodies. And this have the DNA, which gives you an identity to live in this universe. So these are the set of chromosomes that you have in your body, that's 22 autosomes, and these two are the sex chromosomes, that is the XX and XY. Next is, what are chromosomal abnormalities? Now, also these are known as the chromosomal anomalies or abnormalities or aberrations. There may be change in the number of chromosomes, so they are termed as numerical abnormalities. If the chromosomal structure is changed, then they are known as the structural abnormalities. Now, they are also responsible for the stability or for the ability of your cells to survive and function. So if your cells want to survive for a longer duration, then your chromosomes plays a very vital role. Now, the abnormalities are usually detected by studying the human karyotype. Like you have X-rays and you have CT scans. Similarly, you have a karyotype also, which defines your what type of chromosomes you have in your body. So this structure is known as your karyotype. A karyotype is an individual's collection of chromosomes, as I have told you, and a person with abnormalities is always cross-checked with the normal karyotype. So every individual have a normal karyotype, and suppose your parents have normal karyotype, and if a child is born to your parents which is having some abnormality, then that child's karyotype will be cross-checked with the parents' karyotype, and we'll come to know where the defect is, and then we will cross-check again with the collection we have for that type of abnormalities, and then we'll definitely come to know, yes, this child is having this type of chromosomal disability. Next is, so this, as I have told you, this is a karyotype. It is just like a photograph or a small X-ray type of thing in which your chromosomes are there. And from this, we can find whether chromosome number 1 is having some defect, or chromosome 9 is having some defect, or 15th is having some defect, or 21st is having some defect, or your sex chromosomes are having some defect. That means either your sex chromosomes are present or not present. So that also leads to chromosomal abnormalities. Now, if you come to chromosomal abnormalities, as I have told you, there are two types, the numerical and the structure. So first we will be dealing with the numerical abnormalities. In numerical abnormalities, there is abnormal change in the number of chromosomes. So this is termed as aneuploidy. And then in plants also you find this aneuploidy, and in animals, that is humans, also you find this aneuploidy. It occurs when an individual may either be having missing one chromosome from the pair, that means monosomy, and it may be having extra chromosome other than the pair that is already present. So it may lead to trisomy, that means 3 chromosomes, or it may lead to tetrasomy. So this is the structure where you can find, see here one chromosome is missing, and here one extra chromosome is there. So this is monosomy and this is trisomy. Next. What are the examples of monosomy? So first example that I have taken, and mostly it is found, is the Turner syndrome. It is also known as the gonadal dysgenesis. It means there is one missing X chromosome. Mostly it is found in the females, and the individual miss one chromosomes, hence they may be having the 45 chromosomes. Usually humans have how many chromosomes? There are 46 chromosomes. But if one chromosome is missing, that means you have 45 chromosomes. Mostly these don't survive during the fetal life. That means if a child is inside the womb and it is detected with this chromosome, then the survival rate for, or if you can mute, please. So mostly these don't survive during the fetal life. If the child is in the womb and it is detected with this Turner syndrome, the child do not survive for a longer time. And before giving birth to that child, the child gets the disease. So after birth also, if somehow the child gets birth, then if proper monitoring is done and proper treatment is given to the underlying issues that the disease is having, then the child can lead some better life. Turner syndrome is mostly found in females, and they lack one X chromosome, and the frequency is in every 3,300 births, you will find one child of such type of disease. So this is the structure of karyotype where you will be finding. So one chromosome is missing from this. So what are the symptoms for these children? They have hypothyroidism, that is, they have low levels of thyroid. Thyroxine level is very low. They have low seat in the ears, means their ears are not properly developed. The chest is wide. Small jawbone is there, means our jawbone is properly developed, but their jawbone is quite small. Then these females are infertile. They are not able to produce babies in future. And the neck is also not properly developed, so it is very short and wide. And there are numerous moles on the whole body. So if you see the child who is born with a Turner syndrome, you will find small moles on whole body. And these children also have a lot of cardiac problems. Also, sometimes the cardiac issues are arising, and the child may get a cardiac arrest, and she may die also. And there are problems in limb systems also, and the swollen hands and feet are seen in such types of kids. Next is the example of trisomy. That means extra chromosome is there. So for this, I have taken the example of Klinefelter syndrome. That means you have one extra X chromosome. Already you have XY, but then you have one extra X chromosome. That means it is found in males. So this is the structure. The females have XX. But in males, if extra X chromosome is there, then they suffer from this Klinefelter syndrome. So there are two X chromosome and one Y chromosome. And the frequency is 1.4 in every 1,000 births. And these children who are born, they have the mild learning disabilities. So they are not able to grasp whatever you are going to teach them. So they have the learning disability. These children have sparse facial hairs. Their shoulders are narrow. They have poor muscle growth, and they have a very short trunk as well. And they have enlarged breast and the smaller testicles, and they have long legs and hands as well. So these look very different from the normal child, and even they have the mild learning disabilities. Next example of trisomy is the super females. That means it is found in females, and these females have one extra X chromosome. So there will be 3 X chromosomes in the pair of 23. And the frequency is every 1,000, in every 1,000 you will find one such type of super female. These also have mild learning disabilities. They will be having long height as compared to other girls, and they have characteristic facial features like any other girl, but they have web of skin all around their neck. Then the aorta is not properly developed, so somewhere they get heart failures as well, and their breasts are not properly developed, and their ovaries are also not properly developed. So this is also one of the condition which comes under the abnormalities. Next is your the example for trisomy super males. That is XYY. That means one extra Y chromosome. Earlier we have seen XXY chromosome, then we have XXX chromosome, and this is the XXXYY chromosome. So these are known as the Jacob syndrome. These also affects mainly in males. So one X chromosome is there, but extra Y chromosome will be there. So two Y chromosomes are there. In every 2,000, you will find one such type of person. And this is again a mild learning disability. The child is not able to grasp whatever you are going to teach them. So this is the karyotype of such type of children. So these child will not be, these people don't have body hairs, and again they have long arms, long legs. They don't have pubic hairs, and testicles are not properly developed, and these are mostly infertile. They are not able to produce, they are not able to help in reproduction actually. Next example is Down syndrome. This is very common in every time you will find many people nowadays are suffering from Down syndrome. It affects both male and female. It's not related to sex chromosomes. It is related with your autosomes. So one extra chromosome is found in 21st chromosome, and the frequency is 1.5 in 1,000 births. And nowadays many cases of Down syndrome are found. So this type of babies you will be finding all around you. Means I have seen many in my society also. So this is very common disease which is happening nowadays. It's because of the 21st chromosome is having one extra chromosome. So this is the 21st chromosome. Here you can find the circle, and there is one extra chromosome attached with it. So because of that, this type of abnormality is seen. So these type of children have mental retardation. That means their mind and their brain is not properly developed, and their they have broad flat face. Their eyes will be slightly slanting, short nose. They will be having flat back of the head, means their head is not properly curved, but they will be having a flat head. Their abnormal ears are there. Then many loops on the fingertips are there. Special skin ridges are found on their body, and then if you see their palms will have a lot of ridges on it. Then all the time they will be having some intestinal blockages, and then some kids also have the congenital heart diseases, so they are born with inborn heart disease as well. And abnormal pelvis will be there, big toes are there in their legs, and the muscles are not properly developed as well. So this is the Down syndrome. Next about the trisomy is the Edwards syndrome. It is also found in males and females. One extra chromosome is found in the 18th chromosome. So Down syndrome was for 21st chromosome, and Edwards syndrome is for 18th chromosome. So this is the 18th chromosome. So one extra chromosome is found in the 18th chromosome. So every 6,766 births that are taking place, in them one is a such type of child who is born. They have severe intellectual disabilities. They are not able to do any brain work. They are not able to do. They have very small mouth and small jaws are having. They have a very small shield type of thing on their chest, and prominent sternum you will be finding, and the occipital is not properly developed, the brain is not properly developed, they have malformed ears there. If you see the ears, see this type of ears they will be having, and if you see their hands, then this type of fist they will be having, means all the time they will be having this type of fist. So this is one of the example of trisomy of abnormalities. Next is the Patau's syndrome. In this, it is again found in males and females. You will find that these type of kids have cleavage in their upper lip. So they will be having, the upper lips will be cleaved in two parts. And they have very small head, and they don't have eyebrows as well. So one in 4,600 births are taking place, and they also have intellectual disabilities. And in 13th chromosome, you will find this. So we have dealt with 21st, 18th, and now this is the 13th chromosome. So in 13th chromosome, if extra chromosome is present, then Patau's syndrome is found. These children will be having this type of fist. So they also all the time, they are not able to cope up with the normal child. Now, coming to the structural abnormalities, abnormalities, it occurs when a part of chromosome is missing, a part of chromosome is extra, or the chromosomes shift from one place to the other place. So this is the structural abnormalities. This leads to having too much or too little genetic material, and it is a cause of some birth defects, like heart may not be properly developed, or some other defects may be present in your body. Now there are four types of this: deletion, duplication, inversion, and translocation. And then if you come to the first one, that is the first one was the deletion. If you delete any chromosome from your the normal chromosome, see here the part is removed, so you suffer from cry to chat or cat cry syndrome. It means the child will have, the voice will be just like a cat is crying. So they have very low pitched voice. Their circulatory system, their sensory system, their skeletal system is not properly developed. They have a very big head as compared to their face. They have cognitive impairment. They are not able to deal with other things. Their malformed ears are there, poor muscle tone is there, and their body weight is also very less as compared to normal child. And they have problems with hitting or pinching or kicking or biting, and even they can't, they have difficulties like overactivities. They are restless, impulsive, and they are not able to distract. They are very distractive. They are not able to cope up with the other children's. Next is your 7q11.23 duplication. This is type of duplication syndrome. It is also known as Williams-Buren syndrome, and it is due to the extra copy of the region on the long Q arm of chromosome. Now, if you see the structure of chromosomes, as I have told you on the earlier, they have two arms, that is the P arm and the Q arm. So if the Q arm is little bit extra, then this type of abnormalities happen. They have very large head as compared to their face, and their backside is also very flat. Means if you touch them, it will be just like a box. So they have very flat back, and their broad forehead is present. Their eyebrows are very straight, like you have shaped eyebrows. Their eyebrows are very straight, and very deeply their eyes will be set, and they will be having very long eyelashes. And the development is also very delayed. Their motor skills are not properly developed, and they're not able to work or sit properly. And even they show some levels of mental retardation. Some have very high levels of mental retardation, and some have a little low. If they are cared, then they have little low levels of mental retardation. Next is the translocation, in which if the chromosome is translocated from one arm to the next arm, then this type of this is found. And about 3 to 4% of the people with Down syndrome have translocation Down syndrome. They have intellectual disability. They are again not able to cope up with the children's. They have very bad heart defects, and brain and the spinal cord is not properly developed. Sometimes they are not able to sit properly. They are not able to work properly, and their eyes are also not properly developed. They have very weak muscles also. And last is the Walker-Warburg syndrome. It is due to the inversion of the chromosome. That means this part is crossed with this arm. So it happens due to this, and it is very rare neurological disease and rare eye disease, and inborn errors of metabolism is seen, and developmental abnormalities are seen during the embryogenesis. Now, all these chromosomal abnormalities mostly happen when the child is developing. That means when a cell division is taking place, at that time, if somehow the changes takes place in the female body, means in the mother's body, then the chromosomal abnormalities take place. That is why during the pregnancy, it is said that the woman is given the folic acid, she is given vitamins, she has been prescribed, then she is prescribed with some iron medicines. So all these medicines are given just so that she do not suffer from different types of abnormalities which are related with your chromosomes. So chromosomes plays very vital role in your body, and you can deal with the abnormalities which are due to your if you're not having eyes, or you're not having ears, or you're not having your legs, you can deal with them. But when the chromosomes play their role, and if they are not properly working, then the life turns a lot, and all the burden comes on that child, and all the burden comes on that family. And in family, mostly the child is totally dependent on mother, because sometimes these children are not able to handle themselves also. So sometimes these chromosomal abnormalities are really critical, and they may lead to very bad scenes also. So thank you so much for hearing me, and this was all about the chromosomal abnormalities.
Wow, Dr. Vaishali, it was superb. So much of information and so much of takeaways from your part of the speech. I was just noting, and somewhere I just missed out many things. I just took some screenshots so that I remember whatever pointers you touched on. It was so informative. It was really like we had a lot of takeaways as parents too. Even though the parents who are hearing us, who are blessed with special child, should listen to this and not blame anyone for this reason. It's all due to science, and there is a science behind everything, which Dr. Vaishali has given us today. So it was really very informative, and which the parts of the bodies which you just spoke about, it was really being a language teacher, and I really had a lot of takeaways from this. I was never knowing about all this different pointers which you highlighted right now. So I just remembered a few lines which the Walter Giver had said, that parenthood is about raising and celebrating the child you have, not the child you thought you would have. It's about understanding your child is exactly the person they are supposed to be. And if you're lucky, they might be the teacher who turns you into the person you are supposed to be. So that is what I remembered, the famous lines given by Walter, that yes, we are very, very honored to be parents, being a parent myself of two amazing kids. I truly feel blessed that yes, we are having the children with us who are does not have any sort of special abilities, but even that we came to know from you several things which we are using it in our day-to-day life when we are meeting students. Sometimes we have students who come to the school, the parents, they don't want, they request us that, ma'am, please admit them into the regular school. So we really have to face a lot of problem to specially train them what they are understanding. They do not want their child to be sent to any special schools. Whereas we know that if that child would be going there, probably he would have a different, getting that cup in a different platter, decorated with a lot of fermentation there. So the parents really don't want to accept that their kids are specially able child. So we really need, so the chromosomal disorders which you talked about today, Dr. Vaishali, was really very informative. Thank you so much. Now I would ask our guests here as well as the invitees, if you have any questions to ask Dr. Vaishali, she's open to any questions related to chromosomal disorders in the child. So anyone would like to ask any question? You can even put it in the chat box so that I can read it out for ma'am. Is there any question? I don't see any hands raised up in the room. So actually, whenever I see there's no hands raised up, I feel that our speaker had very explicitly explained point-wise that there is nothing much to say or ask once again. So it's we are honored to have you, Dr. Vaishali, and showing your knowledge about the chromosomal disorder, which we should not be panting about all the time and regretting that why this with me. Why was I selected for this? This is all scientific, and the parents should accept it, including the educators. So thank you so much, Dr. Vaishali, for that insightful session. We were really, really blessed to listen to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Moving ahead now, we'll move to our next speakers. But before that, I would like to call on this virtual platform, my co-moderator, Swarlin ma'am, and continue with the rest of the session. So the virtual mic and the platform is all yours. Over to you, Swarlin ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rashna ma'am. You've carried it so well, and all the speakers and the panelists, they are enlightening us with their expertise, and I'm really glad to be here this evening. So again, let me fresh the room and say a warm welcome to everybody present here. Thank you, Akash sir, for giving us all the opportunity to come here and present our views. Well, it's a great evening of learning, I must say. Often we've seen physically and mentally challenged children are made subjects of sympathy. But we should remember one thing, that a physically or a mentally challenged child has all the rights too. More than sympathy, what it wants is empathy. Well, it's a vast umbrella with a wide spectrum. And we as an educator, we as educators, we as the citizens must take this responsibility to make them feel same, make them be as wanted as we are. We today have with a panel of experts who are throwing light on this perspective with their expertise. My co-host, as I said, and moderator, Professor Archana, has already mentioned the details of the webinar. So definitely I'm not going to take much of your time, but definitely if you're here, you're getting the most of it today. Well, next on the row is Miss Rania Lombo, global educator, STEM instructor, Greek Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs, Greek Astronomy and Space Company. She has a postgraduate degree in language teaching related to cognitive neurosciences and is also a passionate researcher on cognitive neurosciences and neuroeducation. Currently, she's a STEM instructor at the Greek Astronomy and Space Company. She's also working at the Greek Ministry of Education and the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, where she writes STEM projects for Greek schools. Awarded with a number of awards, I think I will have less of the time to say about it. There are a number of it, many of them. Some of them to mention: Global Icon 2020, featured in Passion Vista magazine, and 100 most successful women in business. She is today going to speak on STEM and special education. So the floor is all yours.
Good afternoon from Greece. Very, very excited and very honor to be a part of this wonderful event, a significant event about special education. Congratulations to all previous speakers. And today we're going to discuss about special education and how this could be combined with STEM education. What is the progress of STEM education in the field of special education? So may I share my presentation? Can you see now my presentation?
Ma'am, it is coming. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So since the start of the 21st century, improving student achievement in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subjects has become a priority for many countries. And as the global economy becomes more dependent on technological industries, the need for a workforce that is skilled in science and math-related fields is rising. And in order to meet the workforce needs, many countries have started to promote STEM education initiatives as a way to ensure future financial stability. Contemporary STEM initiatives and programs are aimed at increasing student achievement in math and science in order to prepare them for careers in technology-based fields. However, not all students are showing gains in STEM subjects. Students with learning disabilities have yet to show significant achievement gains in math and science subject, which is problematic considering that this population of students is an untapped talent pool that can contribute to the STEM workforce. So students with learning disabilities can face significant barriers to learning STEM subjects, but when effective instructional strategies are employed by teachers, they can achieve at the same levels as students without disabilities. So with the increased national emphasis and the national emphasis on STEM professionals in the post-secondary education typically required for these professions, where does this leave students with disabilities? The number of students with disabilities participating in post-secondary education is increasing, and with the requirement that most STEM careers require most post-secondary preparation, the increase in the number of students with disabilities attending post-secondary education is obviously a step in the right direction. However, when compared to the non-disabled peers, fewer students with disabilities graduate from high school and enroll in institutions of higher education. Of the students with disabilities who are able to reach these milestones, fewer earn a degree or certificate. So academic concepts are coupled with real-world lessons as students apply science, technology, engineering, mathematics in contexts that make connections between school community work and the global enterprise, enable the development of STEM literacy, and with it, the ability to compete in the new economy. So STEM education should be transdisciplinary in its overall approach. It should be driven by standards that complement the transdisciplinary philosophy. And we need to use both the problem-based, performance-based teaching and learning, of course, project-based learning and challenge-based learning. Use also the 5E model of teaching and learning cycle to plan units and activities within the curriculum. Be digital in format and coupled with digital teaching technologies such as whiteboards, tablets, student response systems, etc. And use formative and summative assessments with task and non-task specific rubrics. So some experts suggested that STEM educated students should be problem solvers, innovators, inventors, because these are all the characteristics of STEM educated students, self-reliant, logical thinkers, technologically literate. STEM is the future of education, whether we want it or not. What are the barriers now of students of children with special education needs to STEM? Several groups are underrepresented in STEM areas, including students with disabilities. And there are several barriers to STEM careers for these people. Limited educational experiences, limited educational preparation for STEM careers, and employment issues. So there is also a lack of STEM role models for students with disabilities. And in addition, parent and teachers' misconception that students with disabilities cannot be successful in STEM are a hindrance, resulting in a lack of encouragement to take courses in these areas. Students with disabilities are not provided appropriate information or counseling related to taking advanced courses or STEM career preparation. And along the same lines, teachers' lack of knowledge and skills regarding how to include students with disabilities serves as a barrier. Other factors include technical barriers to science education and lower participation rates in structured and unstructured STEM-related activities. Many reasons for why people with disabilities do not pursue STEM careers could be low also expectations and lack of achievement, lack of encouragement from influential adults, including teachers, the lack of knowledge of educators about the content, requirements of STEM content, and also careers of the technology available to increase access to STEM content to pursue STEM careers. Parents and teachers of students with disabilities suggest usually courses and careers other than STEM, and usually parents view indifference by educational professionals and overall school cultures. So with these barriers, students with disabilities may not view STEM content or careers as obtainable goals, and therefore are not prepared for post-secondary opportunities. Other barriers include inaccessible facilities, curriculum materials, computers, equipment, or other resources. Adding to these barriers, transitions are not always planned well for students with disabilities seeking to participate in post-secondary preparation. Support systems available in high school cease after graduation, and many students with disabilities lack the self-determination, college and employment preparation, and independent living skills to make successful transitions to adulthood. So students with disabilities continue to live with their parents or in other dependent living situations after high school more often than their non-disabled counterparts. So students with disabilities also experience isolation as they typically do not engage in social activities at the same rate as their non-disabled peers. This social isolation has, of course, a negative effect on personal, academic, and career success. Despite all these barriers, the number of students with disabilities participating in post-secondary education is increasing, and even this, with this increase, students with disabilities face more challenges at the post-secondary career level. And all these experiences report that individuals with disabilities experience far less career achievement, that they are more likely to be unemployed and experience under unemployment and work in low socioeconomic status jobs. Individuals with disabilities are underrepresented in STEM professions, and scientists and engineers with disabilities experience higher unemployment rates than do other scientists and engineers. And the reasons for underrepresentation of people with disability STEM careers are, of course, understandable in the light of the challenges presented. So as the students progress through school and struggle with weak foundations in critical content, their attitudes are affected. School develop negative attitudes towards STEM subjects as they encounter increasingly complex expository text and other instructional materials that reduce their ability to access and comprehend scientific information. And this experience can make individuals with disabilities feel isolated, coupled with a lack of potential mentors and peers who face challenges at school or work that are similar to their own. So students, they have to struggle with activating prior knowledge, or they are reluctant to pose questions. They are less likely to have a systematic plan to approach problems. They struggle to take instructor feedback. They have difficulty they making inference during reasoning processes. Seldom transfer knowledge across contexts. They are less likely than peers to be aware of their metacognitive processes. And also, these students require support to manage the extensive information imposed in advanced classes, in addition to the supplementary secondary school features of rotating class schedules, limited instructional diversity, and teachers with an adequate knowledge of effective practices for teaching students with disabilities. So what could be the strategies? First of all, we're talking about universal design for learning. Enrollment in general education STEM classes alone is not sufficient. The instructional strategies and techniques used to those classes must make the content accessible to all learners in the class. Universal design and accommodation are two strategies that have been found to be beneficial for increasing the participation and success of students with disabilities in STEM. And this year, design for learning is a relatively new concept that consists of a set of principles for curriculum development that give all students, all individuals, equal opportunities to learn. It encourages teachers to present their material using multiple formats and to allow students to explore and acquire information in various ways. It also encourages teachers to allow students to showcase their learning in various formats, and this helps ensure teachers have addressed the needs of various types of learners within the classroom. Principles of universal design can be applied to an array of instruction elements, including the use of lectures, fieldwork, group work, web-based instruction, printed material demonstration, lab work, assessment, and projects. So this design for learning technology and accommodations have been found to be beneficial for participation in STEM curriculum by students with disabilities. And this encourages teachers to become familiar with recognition networks and by providing multiple means of representation, for instance, presenting information and content in different ways, or strategic networks by providing multiple means of action and expression, differentiating the ways that students can express what they know, and effective networks of learning by providing multiple means of engagement. That means stimulating interest and motivation for learning. So these principles have found to benefit all students, including students with disabilities. And even though this can increase access to STEM content, the use of this does not eliminate the need for specific accommodation for students with disabilities. Some students will need specific accommodation to meet their individual needs. A student who is deaf, for example, might need an interpreter, and a student with a dexterity or visual impairment might need specialized lab equipment to meet unique individual needs. And unfortunately, some teachers are reluctant to use accommodation, especially in high-level classes, because they believe that it gives students an unfair advantage over their peers without disabilities. At the same time, students with disabilities need to build a case for their use of accommodation from multiple sources. And one of the key predictors of persistence in STEM is knowing which accommodation work and being able to communicate that to others. So students need to practice this while still in school with the support of teachers. Teachers need to be educated about the differences between accommodations, meet the same standard, and modification, changing the standard, the legitimate need for accommodations. What about technology? Technology is a very effective practice to increase the participation of these students. Computers-assisted technology, network resources can link the communication accessibility for these students. In addition, programs such as text-to-speech, speech-to-text, and even spell check can assist the students in being successful in their academic pursuits. So we need to encourage the use of technology, specifically gaming, in combination with what I said before about the universal design learning. And the combination serves as a compensatory scaffold to support teachers with disabilities in accessing science content. Furthermore, the use of gaming technology can provide real-time data for instructional support and remedial instruction within the game. So this way, we need to support the use of gaming as a technology-based scaffold that can engage students and meet them at their ability level. And usually experts discuss also the use of computer-mediated communication to increase access to STEM. There are processes in which people use computers and networking technologies to communicate with one another. This may assist to communication with mentors or peers across space and time. We need to provide students with compensatory assistive technologies that can improve the accessibility of learning materials, promote STEM literacy, improve students' attitudes and self-determination towards participating in STEM content and careers. The use of these technologies provides students access to sophisticated STEM content vocabulary and may include items such as electronic books and text software. Very, very important, which is a key word for STEM education, what we call hands-on instruction. It's another strategy that can increase access to STEM for students with disabilities. And hands-on instruction and applied experiences are acknowledged as effective strategies for STEM instruction. Hands-on can be formal taking place in structured environments such as the classroom, or non-traditional environments such as extracurricular activities, camps, or after-school programs. And these experiences provide opportunities for students to engage in extensive academic activities, explore career paths, develop confidence in their abilities, and develop a network of other students with similar interests and goals, as well as earn recognition for skills through awards and scholarship. And these strategies increase content knowledge and learning, but they also contribute to increased self-confidence, career knowledge, motivation, and access. In addition to these strategies, there are some other general strategies that can increase the access to STEM curriculum for students with disabilities. And these strategies are explicit vocabulary instruction, anchored instruction, text adaptations, and other content area reading strategies that have been shown to improve student outcomes related to context-specific STEM learning. So we need to encourage teachers to help students develop organizational clarity and to use exemplar models that can combine with explicit instruction or support the use of differentiated instructional materials and the use of peer partners. Connect content to students' interests and outside school competencies. Gaming, as I said before, as a way to engage students, and also support, as I said before, the mentor portals and networks for supporting formal instruction. So we need to emphasize peer mentor support, computer-mediated communication, hands-on science experiences in pre-college special environments, work-based and research experiences, bridge programs between academic levels, tutoring and preparation of educators and support staff. And so, as emphasized in special education, in individualized education programs, individualized design learning experiences should be provided, and these experiences should include academic content, but also experiences outside the classroom, including extracurricular activities, after-school programs, mentor special programs, and camps, because these activities should promote students' interest and motivation in STEM, deep understanding of mathematics, science, and other content, ways to apply knowledge and skill creatively in problem-solving situations, and understanding that persons with disabilities can indeed be successful in STEM careers. Early exposure is very important. Research suggests that these experiences must begin early. They suggest implementing STEM activities in the early childhood classroom, indicating that appropriate STEM activities permit young children to use all their senses to explore materials and helps children focus, increase their vocabulary, collaborate with one another, create scientific relationships, in addition to young children being ready, willing, and able to engage in STEM activities. And they emphasize this need to start early, stating no later than middle school, because early learning experience play a critical role in career development. Early experiences such as shape, self-efficacy, beliefs, and outcome, expectations, goals, choice, actions, and performance attainments. So experts suggest that a foundation for post-secondary education in STEM should be made early and include personal development, access to content, experiential development, and post-secondary connected activities. And there are also transitional considerations, because students must be prepared to and be supported to transitions from secondary to post-secondary or adulthood. Students' transition planning must also reflect their interest in STEM. So experts suggest building student confidence in STEM by laying the foundation for post-secondary education, the transition consideration, as far as personal development is concerned, access to content, experiential development, and other connecting activities. When exposing preschool children, for instance, to STEM activities, the children constructed important scientific and mathematical relationships, because they explored materials that piqued their scientific curiosity and math discovery. Researchers suggest that these children can build upon these foundational experiences, and these experiences can teach young children that math and science can be exciting. So providing early and varied STEM experiences is important to increase STEM interest in STEM, as well as preparing students to succeed in STEM programs. Many elementary, middle, and high school students have a negative attitude towards such a math. They might not see them as important, not think the classes are too hard, too difficult for them. So one way to address this is through early and continued exposure to age-appropriate STEM opportunities. Examples of such opportunities include STEM after-school and summer opportunities, special programs. Said before, these types of programs supplement traditional academics with authentic and hands-on experience and acknowledge as effective strategies for increasing diversity in STEM. Participation in such programs has been linked to higher rates of graduation from high school and pursuit of college and retention of majoring in STEM. Supplemental programs and experiences come in many shapes and forms. They can be in person or virtually through online exchanges. They can be formal and informal. They can occur during traditional school day, after school evenings, etc. They can supplement the school curriculum or complement the school curriculum. After-school programs have great potential for facilitating STEM learning, increasing self-esteem, and promoting positive attitudes for students with disabilities. These programs can provide youth with a safe and supportive adult supervised environment, offer them various growth-enhancing opportunities, including activities and experiences that promote academic, personal, social, and recreational development. They can provide a level of individualized attention that many students with disabilities may not receive during the school day and give them a better chance to reach their potential. School clubs in areas such as ecology or robotics are one type of this extracurricular activity. There are a range of competitions in which these students can participate. Some are team-based, while others are individual. Such as First Robotics, Math and Science Olympiads, National Science Bowl, NASA, Space Settlement Contests, Best Robotics, and other competitions. STEM development can also be promoted various service learning. Service learning is very important activities in which students work together with STEM industry advisors, teachers, higher education faculty, and others to meet STEM-related community needs, and other kinds of specialized programs in which students can participate are charter schools, private schools, and magnet schools that specialize in STEM. More and more of these programs are targeted to people with disabilities with STEM. And before closing, we can see here some basic models of teaching. One teach, one assist, station teaching, parallel teaching. Here in Greece, we have this model, alternative teaching and team teaching. So by concluding, I want to say that actually I believe that differentiating instruction is a key solution in order to cope with students with disability. It's very, very important to apply. To learn how to apply and implement, it's not easy for teachers, but it's very important. Differentiating instruction and differentiating teaching and learning is very, very important. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, I'm at your disposal.
Thank you so much. Can you please stop sharing the screen? Quite an insightful detail of the STEM education. There were lovely points put up by you, significant achievements that I was actually going through your screen. You know, students with learning disabilities have yet to show definitely the achievement that we want in maths and science subjects, as in like we had a webinar last year in 2020. So, you know, the main points that were put up, it really threw light on the kinds of the barriers that you have shown, and definitely the strategies that you have put on, the hands-on instruction, and then moving on to one-on-one. That was quite insightful. And I think all the people who were still wanting for some results must have been definitely, you know, benefited from this kind of view. Thank you so very much, Rania. And anybody from the audience, if you would like to put up any question to Rania, she's quite open for it. Or you can put it up in the chat box as well, so that I can read it. Any questions so far? Yeah, well, as I think Rachna ma'am mentioned that every speaker is giving us such insightful, views on the topic that there are no questions left or no queries left for the. Thank you so very much for your insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I told you this evening is going to be a special one, learning and learning and learning. Well, is there an end to it? No. We have yet another speaker, a person who has an expertise in his field, having more than 30 years of teaching experience and 10 years as administrator. He's currently working in a CBSE school in Qatar, where he teaches political science to senior secondary schools. He's also been conducting the activities for various clubs like Eco Club, Quiz Club, Disaster Management Team, Discipline Committee, etc. He aspires to establish a school culture and educational program conducive to student learning and socialization. His popularity among the students empower him with enormous courage to dispel the fear of failure in the young generation. I wholeheartedly welcome Rakesh Verma sir to be our next panelist. He is going to speak on social justice as an Indian constitution and is going to pick up recognition of special needs. We welcome you, sir, and the floor is all yours.
Good evening to everybody. Thank you, Rachna ma'am, Gurleen ma'am. All the speakers, already much have been spoken. And I think I'm audible now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Much have been spoken. I think I have short of words, but no, I will be dealing with society. I will be dealing with how parents and the teachers have to deal with them. For that, I can start my sharing the screen. Is my screen audible, visually seen?
Yeah, sir, your screen is visible.
Thank you once again, ABCD International, and thank you for giving me a chance. And the theme today is specially abled kids. When we see this picture, we only see difference in this child. We don't see that she has fingers like us, same, she has eyes, she has the body which our children have, but we notice only something which is different, and then we prejudice and we stereotype these people as handicapped or as disabled person. But recently, 10-15 years, we have now changed the word. It is differently able. It means that first of all, we should not isolate them. We should not label them. They are part of our society. Number two, they are not different. They are like us. In fact, they are more than us. Their capacity, their quality, talent is par excellence. They bring laurels to the family, as shown in the Paralympics. They have more listening capacity if they don't have visual capacity. If they don't have visual listening capacity, then they have their kinesthetic capacity and so on. So first of all, we should not label them. We should not stereotype them. We should not be prejudiced to them. We all are equal. They are all equal, and therefore, no doubt, some are autism affected by autism or something. But the children who come to school now are now all admitted to normal school. We don't have special school for HGD child. We don't have special school for those who have visually impaired. In fact, I am a teacher of a visually impaired child sitting with normal 29 students. And he, in fact, is the most interactive child in my class 11, political science, humanities. He, in fact, is having recorder and he types in the braille form, the keyboard, and he is very punctual, very disciplined, even in online classes. What else can a child has. In fact, he will, I think, score more than our CBSE board has given them writer. CBSE board has given them special time, extra time. The CBSE board has given them, then they can type and complete their project. In this way, government and the board and our education ministry have helped them to come and become equal to us, if not more. This is a picture where you can see, we all know, but I just want to bring to the attention of everybody that this is the picture where we can see person is drawing with the leg, with the feet, doesn't have proper hands. Now, as Mr. Mohammed Zubair sir has told, it's inclusive education. We have to have now including everybody. If I told you there is no distinction with visually impaired or having problem walking or cannot see, cannot hear, all have to be accommodated in the class. So it's called inclusive education. And the new education policy, which is being formulated and will be effective maybe in a year or two, has the same thing. What Ramya ma'am has told, STEM. STEM also will be incorporated in Indian schools. I want to talk today about social justice. Social justice. Social means connected to society. Justice means to remove the grievance, to make them feel equal, to make them feel not discriminated upon. In this way, social justice is mainly required today for the backward, for the women, especially in our country, and for these specially able children and the people. The three principles of justice are equal treatment for equal. Now, those who are like, we cannot compare banana with cherry. Similarly, we cannot compare a class 2 child result of performance with the performance of class 8 child. Or we cannot compare the performance of a village resident with an urban resident. We cannot say why he is not speaking English or why he is wearing clothes like this. So we have to give equal treatment for equal. Meaning is that those who are of same gender, of same age, same class, same community should be given equal treatment. This is first principle. Second, proportionate justice. Previously in time, in ancient time, the person who was supposing backward, he had done some crime. Maybe he did not have food. He stole bread, so he was punished less. And the person who had money and if he stole the same piece of bread, he will be punished more. Same way, now also, the proportion of the given justice or when say punishment lies on the capability of the person. In this way, justice can be done. For example, a small child. I was in Calcutta. In Calcutta, what happened is it's automatically done. It's not by government. If a cycle is hit by a car, people will blame the car, even if the cycle has come in between. Similarly, if a scooter is being hit by a car driver will be shouted upon, or a car is hit by a truck, the truck driver will be beaten. So this was same like proportionate justice. According to the capacity and the capability of the person, if he has done wrong, supposing a learned person, if he abuses someone and who is illiterate, automatically learned person should not do that because he knows he's supposed to know how to behave. The third one is recognition of special needs. This is the topic of current today, that we should recognize them and we should also. Now, when I was a child, I saw seats reserved for ladies and children. So I was little in Calcutta. I was little feeling I was standing. The whole bus was full of men and only few ladies, and the seats were empty, and no one was daring to sit there. I sat there. After few minutes, some lady came. I have to get her. No problem. But I was thinking, why lady and a child written there? Seats reserved for ladies and children. Similarly, now we can see seats reserved for senior citizens. Now, after some time in the metro, also we can see physically, especially able child person's photo is there. That means it's reserved for them. So this is the case where we should give them recognition. It's not that we are undermining them or we are becoming sympathetic to them. No, since they are incapable or maybe they need special care, we have to accommodate. In counters also, railway counters, we have a special line for ladies or senior citizens and so on. And toilet also has toilets for special needs people. So this is one type of justice given to them, especially now India also has done. I'm talking about India. And in schools, in fact, we have also have the same arrangement. We have ramps, like Mohammed Zubair sir was telling. We have ramps, we have railings to hold on. In fact, in our school, there is a lift. Lift is only for them or some people who are ill, sick. In that way, we have accommodated them. Now, this is regarding structure. In classroom, as Rania ma'am was telling and Vaishali ma'am was telling, we have done special care. Teachers have to be trained. In fact, I told you my class has a visually impaired person. So we have to deal with everyone. And like every child is unique in form. We have to have differential learning. We have to see at the end of the day whether all have understood the subject or not. In this case, if it's a specially needed child, we have to give them notes. We have to supply. We have to talk to their parents. If they need extra, they can. Now, presently, WhatsApp has come. I am connected with them 24 into 7. And we have landline, we have uh, other facilities, email. So we are now at par with Oxford and Harvard University, where we used to hear that they have open textbook exam. We were very surprised. Open textbook, how can they see and answer and all that? We have given them this during this pandemic. So we can see pandemic is a silver lining around the cloud. That means we have got some like today. Today we are talking to all in different parts of the world. We are all together in this platform where we are all talking and understanding and learning from each other. So in this way, specially need. If you see, we were also specially in special need because we were devoid of how to teach without physical classroom. So we are not stereotyped. We are not having any prejudice. No one has any problem with us. So why we will have problem with those people who are physically challenged, who have some God gift, you can say, in a negative way. Our constitution has given us reservation for them, as we have it has given for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe for the backward communities, and especially I told you our education board also has given them to bring them up. So in fact, we are very much grateful to the government, to the education department for helping from the childhood to make them equal to the normal people. My disability does not hinder my ability to be considered. Now, this is the psychology of the child who sees that his or her neighbor is behaving differently. So he is thinking they are differently abled. He, who is having maybe one leg missing or visually impaired, he is thinking about us, that why they are behaving differently. So in fact, we are differently abled for them, for this physically challenged person. So like we think, they also think. So we should not think, automatically they will also not think. This is my belief. Now, something I am trying to tell you as a human being, as a normal human being, we should not do. We should not tell them brave and try to have empathy on them just like that. They are normal. I don't ask him anything. I am normal to my visually impaired student, and I don't try to give more importance to him or attention to him. No doubt, I talk to his mother or father in the evening, but nothing to make them think that why such attention is there. It's like an insult to them. It's like very cruel thing, strange thing to them. Similarly, we should not let loud negative also about them. Just like that, that they should not feel that they have something problem with them. We should assume that they are normal. We should not think or let them think that we are thinking that they are not normal. Same we should have. Similarly, don't we should not ask what happened. Is it you are having pain? Just imagine when we used to fall down and someone used to tell us, "Oh, what happened?" Just imagine the whole world was shattered in front of us. A small child, when someone says, "Oh, you fell down," he starts crying. It was not crying before. More you with attention, the pain starts. Or you can say the dignity is lost. Something wrong happened. I don't think that they are in need. They are not in need. In fact, with such an government facilities and everything, they are better than us. Don't give advice. Advice is very freely given. Never to normal person also, never to them also. And don't discuss about their disability to anyone. If it comes to their ears, they feel very insulted. The word is scattered for them. Disability is a matter of perception. If you can do just one thing well, you are needed by someone. This is the principle. These things I have uh, incorporated in my life, and that's why I feel myself justified and liked by everybody. Now, if I think that they like me, my work is done. If I think that they don't like me, maybe they like me, automatically they will start disliking me. So similarly, a disabled child, if I behave properly, he will become normal. And if a disabled child or intellectually able child is by our action showed that we think that you are disabled or having some problem, he will start having problem. So better our perception should change. We should not treat anybody special. We should not treat anybody unequal. We should not treat anybody, I mean, less than us. The only disability in life is a bad attitude. There is no disability. Special ability also I don't like. If we think special ability, that is positive. They have some quality in life that we can say. But special ability doesn't mean synonyms of physically handicapped person. No. Disability is in our attitude. Disabled, we are more disabled than other than. We don't have attention, proper attention. We have attention problem. We have distraction in our life. Those who are normal, so as to say, it's our attitude which is having disability. Now, only we think family, those who have like Vaishali ma'am was telling, those who have children, it's their responsibility, their bad luck, they have to deal only. Society not bothered about it. Government is not bothered. Of course, government has come, and there are social organizations, and people are improving now. Especially in India, you can see people understanding the problem faced by the parents when they start creating differences among the children. I treat all children the same. I don't consider their disability an excuse, but rather a point of motivation. When you enter my classroom, you no longer see children with special needs, but a teacher who meets the needs of special children. I think every child is unique and every child needs me and every child is special. Where is specially able child? No, no one is specially able. If he is visually impaired, the other child is mentally disturbed. The third child is having some problem in his stomach, maybe some dysentery, diarrhea. Someone has bad mood. Father shouted at her or him. I may also have some problem in my mind. Principal has warned me, or I got a charge sheet. So everyone is in fact specially able or disabled. In fact, when I enter the class, for me, everyone is special. No one is specially able and no one is disabled. Parents of children with special needs create their own world of happiness and believe in things that others cannot yet see. Just parents, when they see a newborn child and they afterward 2, 3 years, 4 years, like the previous speakers were saying, diagnose the child that they are having some problem. Just imagine their world is shattered. It's obvious. Then they pop up and then they start taking care of the child and forget that it's different. Just think of their happiness. So why can't we? Why can't we change ourselves? When they can change and they start behaving normally with the child. Children with disabilities are like butterflies with broken wings. They are just as beautiful as all others, but they need help to spread their wings. We as a teacher help them, give them more attention so that they also can fly like the other butterflies, like the other children. We only have to take care so that they come up, they have their special capacity. We as a teacher have extra burden, can say extra duty, extra responsibility to help them, treat them equal, give them more attention, not visually in the evening or through our extra care. It should not be shown to them in the open class. There also we have to be very careful. So training is must, as Rania ma'am was saying, STEM and all. We have to have good teachers, trained teachers. Special child needs love, guidance, encouragement, positive influence, and a life teacher. We are no longer teacher. We are facilitator. We are coach. What does coach does? England India match is abandoned today due to the coach having one of the coach having tested positive. What is coach? Coach is a person who's who is available 24 into 7 to the players. We are coach today. Parents are working. Both the parents are working. For normal child also, they are busy because the inflation, because of the problems in the society, economic condition. They are busy. They are not taking care. Nuclear family started. Joint family was there before. Grandmother, uncle, auntie used to take care in the absence of parents who are busy in the field outside the house. Now, no one. The child needs our attention. Even the normal child, I'm telling you, we are coach. So when we are coach to a normal child, why can't we a coach to a specially able child? It takes unimaginable strength to continuously endure, persist, and overcome. People with disabilities aren't weak. They are the strongest human beings you will ever meet. Now, I'm coming to the point. Specially able. They have talent better than normal human beings. These Paralympics have proved we got better than other normal Olympic gold. India got 30, 17 total medals. I'll just show you the next slide. Sometimes real superheroes live in the hearts of small children fighting big battles. They are the superheroes. They are small children but fighting big battles, which even the normal adults cannot imagine. Why we will undermine them? They are our role models. You should see what capacity they have. Until you have a kid with special needs, God forbid, you have no idea of the depth of your strength, tenacity, and resourcefulness. I tell my parents of those children that you have the best and the highest strength, tenacity, and you are most resourceful person on earth because you have to deal with such a problem. Just imagine, they don't know from the childhood, they have not seen anything, they are visually impaired or they cannot walk. How the parents have to take care. And everyone cannot keep a servant. I heard one parent told we cannot go out without him. We have to be in the house. One of us has to go. We can't take him openly to the market. So in that way, just imagine what suffering they have, and we label them. We sideline them. We discriminate them. What we are doing, what we gave to our country, zero. What they have given. Five gold, 8 silver, 6 bronze. Normal human being, Indian, could not achieve so much. Now I have some examples where I can show you people with some special abilities. TV Wonder. I hope everyone has heard his songs. He was a blind singer. At the age of 11 years, he recorded his song. And 30 US top 10 hits. I just called to say I love you. Best song from now in my life. Stephen Hawking. They were also children. Suddenly they did not become disabled or specially able. quantum mechanics, black hole, Big Bang. Since Albert Einstein, most brilliant physicist. Sudha Chandran, she lost her leg. Not jumped answer. No doubt she was not a child when she was specially able, but ultimately, what's wrong? Nothing is wrong with them. They can, anyone can. Muniba Mazari, Pakistani, artist, singer, spinal cord injury. Now she's on wheelchair. She moves and does TED Talks. Came to my school. Finally, Nicholas James Buddhist, the most motivational speaker I have ever heard. Australian, without links. Just if you can permit me, I can show you his. Video if time is there. Ma'am, anyone? Swarlin ma'am, can I show video?
Sure, sure. I think Akash sir, that's okay if we let's show the video.
Yes,
Two,
yes,
3 minutes because I have time, I think.
Sure.
I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is looking up and waiting for other people to come down, and here I come and they're freaking out. They're like, you know, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? You know? And there were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, because wishing won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles, and the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to have a job. I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. One more. Woo! It's freezing, I can't feel my hands. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You know, you go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm's going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realize I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand, but when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. You know, it is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man. On this DVD, I share my experiences in life of how I've overcome challenges and
It was such an insightful session. If I would have been, physically present, I would have definitely given you a standing ovation for giving us such insightful, but definitely you deserve a number of applause, sir, for giving such a valuable and insightful opinions about it. The most I like was giving the same platform to everybody. Everybody is equal. Everybody is the same. I loved it the most, for sure. And definitely the way you've talked about the perception. It is all about the perceptions. I always say in my sessions, it starts from here. It's all about what you think. It is what about you think, and you really present yourself the way you think it to be. So be positive, be kind, be compassionate, be generous. We all are one, of the same caste, of the same color, of the same creed. Children are still, they are God's angels. Think them to be same, perceive them to be the same. Everyone is unique. They all carry their own identity cards, and that is their personality. They have so much to give us. We even can't imagine about it. Thank you so very much, sir. It was indeed a delight to hear you, a pleasure to hear you. Thank you. Undoubtedly, I told you we are not going to miss anything if we are going to hear everybody with ears, all ears. Undoubtedly, I proved it right and happy to say about this. Well, last but not the least, I have with me the participant who is Amiga Paul from Mauritius, born with a cerebral palsy, a 22 years young, brave girl, a graduate in IT software and fine arts. She's currently pursuing her LLB and BSc Honors Psychology. She is the founder president of the NGO Vision New, which aims to fight against violence. Also, she's the event coordinator and treasurer of Association pour la Protection des Droits des Handicaps, which aims to fight against all types of discrimination on people with disabilities. She is also a motivational speaker who helps people with depression and other problems. Today, she is going to talk on physical disability. Amiga, the platform is all yours. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. I wish to thank Mr. Akash for the opportunity that he gave me today. And I will start sharing my screen. And let me know if it's visible. Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Well, I will start by saying that it's not our disabilities, it's our abilities that count. People with disabilities deserve the chance to build a life for themselves in the communities which they choose to live. I have a disability, yes, it's true. But all that really means is I may have to take a entirely different path than you. What is physical disability? A physical disability is a physical condition that affects a person's mobility, physical capacity, stamina, or dexterity. This can include brain or spinal cord injuries, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, respiratory disorders, epilepsy, hearing and visual impairments, and more. The roots of physical capacity results in the person having a reduced ability or inability to perform body movements such as walking, moving their hands and arms, sitting and standing, as well as controlling their muscles. A physical disability doesn't necessarily stop you from performing specific tasks, but makes them more challenging. This includes daily tasks taking longer to complete, such as getting dressed or difficulty gripping and covering things. It is important to note that defining physical disability is not about the physical condition itself, but how it impacts daily life, such as the ability to carry out our activities. A person may be born with a physical disability or acquire it in life due to an accident, injury, illness, or as a side effect of a medical condition. What causes physical disability? Just as types of physical abilities and how they impact a person's daily life are all different. Causes of physical disabilities also vary. Physical disability can be caused by either hereditary, congenital, or acquired results. Congenital. A person with a hereditary or congenital physical disability has had the condition since birth, developed the condition because of inherited genetic problems, issues with muscular cells, or the person suffered an injury during birth. We have agreed a person can acquire a physical disability due to a number of reasons. These can be severe accidents, brain injuries, infection, diseases, and as a side effect of disorders and other medical conditions such as a stroke or dementia. Common causes of physical disabilities include autistic, epilepsy, acquired brain injury, and cerebral palsy. What is cerebral palsy? Cerebral palsy occurs in young children and is a group of non-progressive disorders that damage the brain, causing impairment of motor function, including associated disabilities such as intellectual and behavioral. A person with cerebral palsy usually have problems with movement and coordination. Autistic comes in many forms and causes pain and inflammation in joints and can affect children as well as adults. The most common form of autistic is osteosclerosis, which affects the small cartilage lining of the joint, making movement more difficult and can cause pain and stiffness. Acquired brain injuries are due to damage to the brain after birth and can be caused by a wide range of factors, including stroke, head injury, alcohol, drugs, lack of oxygen, or various diseases such as cancer. This can cause a person to find it difficult to move certain parts of their body and struggle with daily activities. To we have spinal cord injury. Spinal cord injuries can result in total or partial impairment of sensory and motor function in the body and limbs. Spinal cord injury can lead to paralysia and tetraplegia, also known as quadriplegia. Paraplegia affects the lower limbs and result in loss of movement and bowel and bladder control. Tetraplegia is paralysis affecting both arms and legs, the stomach and some chest muscles, resulting in total impairment of sensory and motor functioning. Epilepsy. Epilepsy is a neurological condition that causes a person to have a tendency of recurring seizures. There are many types of epilepsy which range in severity, and each person with epilepsy experiences it differently. Disability and physical barriers. Many barriers that people with disability face are physical and agricultural barriers. Physical barriers happen when features of buildings or species limit people's access. For instance, some physical disabilities barriers are step without ramps, laboratories or lifts, lack of automatic or push button doors, low lighting or weak color contrast, narrow size walls, doorways or high speed, table without king or tone brightness, no accessible light areas, waiting areas or service counters. Physical barriers. These and other physical barriers remain right for people with different disabilities. For example, state without mouth or laboratory denied access to people using wheelchairs. Likewise, still may also limit the access of people with invisible physical disabilities. For instance, artistic difficulties with balance, energy level, or pain level, cause or loss condition. Many people find barrier-free spaces helpful. However, for people with disabilities, removing barriers is not only a help, but a need. Therefore, organizations should prevent or remove barriers whenever they can. The most important thing to remember when you interact with people with disabilities is that they are people. Their disability is just one of the many characteristics we have. People with disability have the same needs we all do. First and foremost, a movement is to be treated with dignity and respect. When you interact with people with disabilities, focus on their abilities, not their disabilities. People with disabilities are unique individuals who have a wealth of knowledge, skills, talents, interests, and experiences that add temperance, diversity, resourcefulness, and creative energy to our society. Remember, people with disability may do things in different ways, but people without them, however, they can achieve the same outcomes. Thank you.
It was awesome. You are an example, and thank you for being in this society. Thank you for giving value to the society. Thank you for adding to the insights that you have shared today. Thank you so very much, Dr. Amiga. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed, a session which had so much to learn. We learn from each other. Whether Dr. Vaishali spoke, whether Dr. Amiga spoke, whether Rakesh sir spoke, whether Zubair sir spoke. We had so many insights. We had so much of learning. We all are equal. Today, if you ask me what is the takeaway that I am going to take back home is be one, be together, fight against the odds, fight against your challenges. They're all just the stepping stones. They might come in your journey. Yes, they do. When you walk on the road, when you drive on the roads, there might be quite a number of potholes, but that does not mean they can stop you. You'll not stop your car. You keep on driving ahead. Keep marching, keep moving. That is the essence of life. To be positive, to move on, because these challenges can never be a destination. Because the day they become your destination, we stop to grow. And to stop and to be on a place which is stagnant is just like that dirty pond which has all the algae and fungi on it. We as human beings need to move ahead, share the insights with each other, learn from each other, be empathetic towards each other. And that's humanity. And that's we call where we strive for the betterment of all the world and the mankind. Thank you so very much for being here, for adding values to us. Dr. Rachna Chakravarti would not have been possible without you. You were really a support all through these days, giving me those pings and messages, what is to be done. It really went smoothly because of you. Thank you, thank you, Mr. Akash Mahabat, sir. It was amazing for you. It was rather, I must say, a learning for all of us, for providing us that kind of a platform where we could all come together and learn and share our experiences of life. Thank you so very much for giving us all this opportunity. Have a great evening and a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
all of you.
Thank you, sir.
So I thank you all speakers, great speakers. So lots of learning here. Just today it's Ganesh Chaturthi and first day. That's why lots of people are absent. But we have recording and live streaming. So people will learn and people message me, please provide recordings. So 3 messages for me. Regarding recording, so no worries if we no live participant, but people are eager to learn from our summit. That's great, and thank you all great speakers, lots of learning here, and thank you Swarlin ma'am and Rachna ma'am. Because of you, I think today's session is nothing. आप दोनों ने मैनेज किया, यही बहुत बड़ी बात है, because I was also busy in some functions. So thank you once again, and thank you all mentors. All credit is of yours. So thank you once again, and we will move forward. Yes, over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a lovely session. As Swarlin Kaur just now said, that yes, it would not have been possible today's journey. And there are wonderful takeaways, which especially for me, to know finally about Dr. Amiga Paul, how she had highlighted each and every point and being experienced it. So it was totally deep from the heart, from one heart to another heart. So it reached out more positively. Dr. Vaishali talked about the chromosomes. Zubair ji talked about the special abilities which are there. And Rakesh Verma overall summarized that how we should treat these kids. What do they expect from us? What are the expectations? It was a very, very nice learning overall. And of course, Akashji, we all know it's a celebration time here in Mumbai, but still, amidst all this celebrations, our session was very informative and valuable. So day 5 was very inspirational with special ability kid. So I would like to invite everyone once again, be ready to join us tomorrow for another amazing and mind-boggling session, day 6. Don't go away anywhere. Same time, same place. ABCD International. We'll be waiting for you. So we will have another great takeaway session. So thank you. Expecting to see all of you tomorrow and with a lot of takeaways. Thank you to all the eminent speakers and of course my co-moderator who moderated it so nicely. So in between I had to go for Aarti also, Ganpati. So I was not there. The Aarti time is there, so it's a little bit difficult, but still there is this correlation and teamwork which we can see in ABCD International. It's the teamwork that means a lot. So thank you, Akashji, for providing this wonderful platform. We had eminent speakers who were just very, very mind-boggling. We had a lot of takeaways. Thank you so much. Expecting to see all of you and more of you tomorrow in our next session, day 6. With that hope, stay safe, stay healthy. Until we meet again tomorrow, 6 p.m. once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye bye. Great night. Bye bye.